Mr. Pereira, let me tell you what is
please.
elementary. What is not just elementary, it's so basic that it's less than elementary. Kanda is the primary accused in this case. He is an influential man. He has been Home Minister. Simple thing is, he will try and tamper with evidence. He is capable of threatening witnesses just to allow his safe passage from the case. That's elementary stuff. That's ground enough for the Delhi police to have acted quicker. Wouldn't you have acted quicker if you were in charge?
I suppose you have inner knowledge to this, to the facts that you are stated just now. I'm not in possession of any such, effort on the part, the conclusions or inferences are not really the basis on which you can just jump to, action.
I find it very interesting, Mr. Tulsi. Mr. Pereira.
Only when the police, the fact that the police have acted is evident in many other aspects.
Mr.
The
Pereira.
police have issued notices. The police, when he did not obey the summons, has raided his places. The police has arrested the co-accused. The police has gone and got a witness and got his statement registered, before a magistrate.
Mr. Pereira.
The police have acted.
Mr. Pereira.
Yes.
What are you saying,
Please.
Mr. Pereira? You act against the co-accused, but you don't act against the accused.
You jump to the conclusion that there is one person who has not been arrested, and that's why the police have not acted.
I'm saying you act against the co-accused, but you don't act against the accused. This is an interesting situation. I'm just saying there's a fascinating situation.
This is already
It's possibly a case study. My question.
I think, yes, it is a case study. I think it has been very clearly explained by you that if the police have gone and got hold of a witness and got a statement before a magistrate, that is police action. The police have arrested the co-accused Aruna Chadha. She had obeyed the summons. And
I want to go to Rajesh Kalra.
They had found. I believe they have found reasons for her arrest. Now, if they find reasons for Mr. Kanda's arrest, I'm sure they'll arrest him.
We can all watch this, and the sad part of this entire thing is that as this is going on, Rajesh Kalra, there's also Geetika Sharma, who cannot speak for herself today, is a victim of character assassination also. This man, Kanda, seeks anticipatory bail from a court, describing Geetika as a hypersensitive girl. This is what Mr. Tulsi probably is aware of. She says a hypersensitive girl.
Yes, of course.
With 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. Let me complete.
Yeah, absolutely.
With mixed emotions of love and hatred towards him. And that she might have been jilted. I mean, all kinds of things are going on right now.
That's
because she can't speak for herself. Yeah. Rajesh, what do you think of KTS Tulsi and the legal argument put so far? Yes.
No, not just KTS Tulsi's, even what Mr. Pereira is saying. What has happened is for far too long in this country, politicians, anybody who is in a position of power, even police, because they wield the power, they can actually confuse people with statements and semantics and everything. But now what has happened is, past few years, because of a very vibrant media and especially electronic media and the social media, everybody has started getting very aware of what is going on in this country. So people have started lashing on to what they are saying and started questioning them, which had never happened in the past. So obviously they find it very uncomfortable now. Mr. Pereira says not 80,000 people of Delhi police are not doing. Obviously we are not saying that. That's not what you're trying to say. You are trying to say that there is police and everybody has, people were actually interviewing him till day for yesterday. And suddenly when the thing came about getting him, for interrogation, he disappeared and nobody seems to find him now. It's a very sad commentary on the part of police if you can't trace a person who's so well known, who has a huge mansion, who moves between two cities in a helicopter if need be. I find it very, very strange.
At this stage, I want to bring in Ankit. Ankit, you've been listening to all these arguments. You also know the things that are now being said in court by the other side, by Kanda's lawyers. What would you like to say to Mr. Tulsi, who is a senior Supreme Court advocate in this case, who's representing Mr. Kanda? Anything you'd like to say to him?
I think Mr. Tulsi is a very, very veteran in this field, and he's been saving his client very well. He's doing his job, but he doesn't know that he's saving a wrong man. He's putting all sort of allegation on my dead sister, which we've been hearing when we were there in the court. He's just using his profession really well. He's using his experience. He's a grown-up guy, and he knows how to cover up lies. But my question is that why there's not even a single discussion on the autopsy report. It's been 4 days. 4 दिन हो गए हैं, अभी तक autopsy report नहीं आई है. गोपाल गोयल कांडा क्या वो खरीद रहे हैं क्या वो बेच रहे हैं? ये मैं तुलसी जी से पूछना चाहूंगा.
You heard that, Mr. Tulsi. Would you like to respond to what Ankit said?
Yes, I would like to say that please understand that obviously I cannot at this stage be able to say anything to the distraught family. It's a tragedy. I cannot even sympathize because at this time I have a certain professional duty, and in that professional duty I respect the right of every citizen who is a suspect to be treated with a certain element of innocence, because this presumption of innocence is a constitutional value and it's one of the most precious values of our constitution.
Is a suicide note not considered a dying declaration of an individual?
Pardon me?
Exactly.
Is a suicide note not considered to be a dying declaration of an individual?
Is that suicide note?
No.
Yes,
Suicide note
Ankit,
can
you want
be
to say
treated
something?
to be a dying declaration if it can be treated to be a dying declaration only if it relates to the cause of
when
death.
someone is dying,
in
do you
this
think
case,
it
relates to the previous 6 years.
So, Ankit,
when
yes.
someone is dying, nobody writes lies.
But there is no incitement. Even the victim. Arnab, I would like to say one thing.
मरते समय कोई झूठ नहीं बोलता. तुलसी जी, आप ये बात समझिए.
देखिए, मैं सच नहीं जानता, सच सिर्फ भगवान जानता है. मैं आपके साथ पूरी सहानुभूति करता हूँ, मगर मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि इवन अकॉर्डिंग टू दी FIR, मेरे पास तो सिर्फ FIR है, मेरे पास कोई और डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं, और जो सुसाइड नोट अखबारों में छपे, जो the FIR does not even the victim did not.
Why
have
do you
the
wait?
intention
No,
of
this
committing
case has
suicide
happened
till
on
a few hours
Saturday.
before.
No, this case has happened on Saturday. You declare him an absconder on Wednesday. He drives out. You wait for action. You take action when the media acts. You start acting against the co-accused. Before you can come to the accused, he drives off. He gives a total of 17 media interviews in the interim. The media can catch him. The police can't catch him. I mean, this is a travesty of justice. Kirti wanted to respond to you on the point of the suicide note. Kirti Singh, you want to respond to KTS Tulsi? Coming back to you, Sumit, right after that. Yeah.
Yes. No, what I wanted to say was that suicide note came soon after a series of incidents in which she was, which is stated to have really harassed her. We've all been reading about how she has been receiving repeated phone calls and how she has been harassed through these 6 years. Now the law on abetment to suicide has also been laid down, and if it's a connected chain of events which has led to her suicide, then it is a case of abetment of suicide. And I think we should not miss that, because one shouldn't say, the whole argument of proximity to suicide is an argument which doesn't take into account this whole chain that has occurred. And it's, it's, and
so
even
Kirti,
just
you would like to discuss merits of the case?
No, I'm not discussing. I'm discussing the law on abetment to suicide. No, I'm not discussing the merits of the case. I'm discussing the law on abetment to suicide, which can be a chain of circumstances. In dowry cases, we have seen how a chain of circumstances which have led to the suicide of a victim have been held to be true even by the Supreme Court. So I am trying to point out
and the law is very
that
clear.
is the law of abetment. I am not
so
in this particular case. Of course, the police have in their possession certain evidence. We have been reading about it from the newspaper. So, I mean, if the police have in their possession all these pieces of evidence which led directly to her suicide, then it could well
Sumit wants to come in.
And probably is abetment.
Sumit wants to come in to counter you, Kirti. One sec, Sumit. Sumit, please. Sumit responding to Kirti.
On the law on abetment is that a person who is accused of abetment to suicide has actually, by some positive and direct act, either instigated or intentionally aided the victim to lead to a suicide. In this particular case, there is a suicide note which does say that accused Kanda had destroyed her life and did so many things, but there is no positive act
that
which has been attributed in the suicide note directly. That is one of the reasons that the police
I disagree with that.
was going
That's
slow
what I
and they wanted to interrogate. No, may I also educate the lady on the panel. So far as law on suicide is concerned, abetment suicide is concerned, she's perhaps mixing Section 113A of the Evidence Act, which says there is a presumption if a woman within 7 years of marriage commits a suicide and there is evidence of cruelty by husband or by the in-laws, in that even there is a presumption of abetment suicide.